Welcome to Power Quiz. Are you ready for 100 general knowledge questions that everyone should know? There are no multiple choice options, so every answer has to come from your own memory. Test your knowledge and see how many you can get right. Let's get started. What is the windiest planet in our solar system? The answer is Neptune. Which ancient civilization built the city of Machu Picchu? That was the Inca civilization. What are the only two countries with larger populations than the United States? India and China have a larger population than the US. Which scientist is famous for discovering the laws of motion and gravity? The answer here is Isaac Newton. What movie franchise features the fictional planet Pandora? Avatar is the answer. Which organ in the human body produces insulin? That's the pancreas. In which country can you find the ancient city of Petra? You can find it in Jordan. What company developed the Android operating system? The answer is Google. Which world-famous singer released the album Dangerous? That was Michael Jackson. What country won the first ever FIFA World Cup in 1930? Uruguay won the first ever FIFA World Cup. Which animal is known for having fingerprints very similar to humans? It's the koala. What element has the chemical symbol O? The answer here is oxygen. Which video game series features the character Geralt of Rivia? That's The Witcher. What ocean lies between Africa, Asia, and Australia? The answer is the Indian Ocean. What is the name of the famous painting by Edvard Munch that shows a person appearing to scream? That was The Scream. Which company owns the Instagram and WhatsApp platforms? It's Meta. What country hosted the 2016 Summer Olympics? Brazil hosted the 2016 Summer Olympics. Who played the character Jack Dawson in Titanic? That was Leonardo DiCaprio. Which gas makes up the largest percentage of Earth's atmosphere? The answer is nitrogen. What famous structure in India was built as a white marble mausoleum? The Taj Mahal was built as a white marble mausoleum. Who is the Formula One driver known by the nickname the Flying Dutchman? That's Max Verstappen. Which 2026 video game is one of the most anticipated releases of all time? It's Grand Theft Auto 6. What Middle Eastern dip is traditionally made from chickpeas, tahini, olive oil, and lemon juice? The answer is hummus. Which famous detective lives at 221B Baker Street? Sherlock Holmes lives at 221B Baker Street. What was the first spacecraft to land humans on the moon? That was Apollo 11. Which country has the largest land area in the world? The answer is Russia. Which scientist developed the theory of evolution by natural selection? That was Charles Darwin. What is the name of Christopher Nolan's 2010 movie about entering people's dreams? The answer is Inception. Which blood type is known as the universal donor? The answer here is O negative. What company developed the popular video game Fortnite? Epic Games developed Fortnite. Which ancient city was buried under volcanic ash after the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD? The answer is Pompeii. What part of the brain controls balance and coordination? It's the cerebellum. Who wrote the fantasy novels that inspired the Lord of the Rings movie trilogy? That was J.R.R. Tolkien. In which country can you find the Great Barrier Reef? You can find it in Australia. Which inventor is often credited with creating the first practical telephone? That's Alexander Graham Bell. What sport uses terms like love, deuce, and advantage? It's tennis. Which planet is famous for having a giant storm called the Great Red Spot? The answer is Jupiter. What video game franchise takes place in the fictional world of Tamriel? The Elder Scrolls is the answer. Which ancient Egyptian ruler's tomb was discovered in 1922? Tutankhamun's tomb was discovered in 1922. What animal is the largest living land predator? It's the polar bear. Which document format is designed to preserve the same layout across different devices? The answer is PDF. What country gave the Statue of Liberty to the United States as a gift? That was France. Which mathematician is famous for the theorem about right-angled triangles? The answer here is Pythagoras. What TV series follows the survivors of a plane crash on a mysterious island? The TV series is Lost. Which animal has 3 hearts and blue blood? It's the octopus. In which country can you find the ancient city of Angkor Wat, one of the largest religious monuments in the world? You can find it in Cambodia. What technology is used for contactless payments with smartphones? The answer is NFC. Which famous singer released the song Bad Guy? Billie Eilish released this song. What country hosted the first modern Olympic Games in 1896? That was Greece. Who is the treasure hunter and main protagonist of the Uncharted video game series? It's Nathan Drake. Enjoying this quiz so far? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. What is the smallest country in the world by both area and population? The answer is Vatican City. Which scientist is famous for the discovery of penicillin? It's Alexander Fleming. What planet orbits closest to the Sun? Mercury orbits closest to the Sun. Who played Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? That was Robert Downey Jr. Which is the longest river in Asia and the third longest in the world? The answer is the Yangtze River. What part of the cell contains genetic information? It's the nucleus. Which Pixar movie was the first computer-animated feature film ever released? That was Toy Story. Which brothers are credited with building and flying the first successful powered airplane? These were the Wright brothers. What is the name of the world's most famous annual cycling race? The answer is the Tour de France. In which classic novel does the character Captain Ahab appear? He appears in Moby Dick. What is the default web browser included with modern versions of Microsoft Windows? It's Microsoft Edge. Which country has the longest coastline in the world? The answer is Canada. Who composed many classical masterpieces, including the Fifth Symphony? That was Ludwig van Beethoven. What telescope has provided some of the deepest and most detailed images of the universe since its launch in 2021? The James Webb Space Telescope is the answer. Which soccer club is known by the nickname the Gunners? It's Arsenal FC. What mountain range stretches across Morocco, Algeria, and Tunisia? These are the Atlas Mountains. What does the abbreviation DM stand for on social media platforms? DM stands for direct message. Which animal has the highest officially measured bite force in the world? It's the saltwater crocodile. What is the name of the magical school attended by Harry Potter? The answer is Hogwarts. Which ancient city was once the capital of the Byzantine Empire? That was Constantinople. What is the name of the technology behind digital currencies like Bitcoin? The answer is blockchain. Which artist released the album Back to Black, one of the most acclaimed albums of the 2000s? The album was released by Amy Winehouse. Which animal is known as the fastest bird in the world when diving? That's the peregrine falcon. What is the name of the ancient Greek temple on the Acropolis of Athens? It's the Parthenon. What is the name of Link's legendary sword in The Legend of Zelda? The answer is the Master Sword. In which Italian city did the modern pizza originate? The answer here is Naples. Which scientist developed the first widely accepted model of the atom? That was John Dalton. What is the name of the parallel dimension in the popular Netflix series Stranger Things? It's called the Upside Down. Which two countries share the summit of Mount Everest? The two countries are Nepal and China. What is the name of Samsung's foldable smartphone series? The answer here is Galaxy Z. Which ancient civilization created the first known writing system called cuneiform? The answer is the Sumerians. What is the name of the trophy awarded to the NHL champion each season? That's the Stanley Cup. Which fictional metal coats the claws and skeleton of the superhero Wolverine? It's adamantium. What is the largest desert in the world? The Antarctic Desert is the largest desert in the world. What does the abbreviation USB stand for? It stands for Universal Serial Bus. Which famous singer is known as the Queen of Pop? That's Madonna. Which major sports event was hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico in 2026? That was the FIFA World Cup. What is the only mammal that cannot jump? The answer here is the elephant. Which museum is home to the Mona Lisa? The Louvre is home to the Mona Lisa. What type of battery powers most modern electric cars? The answer is a lithium-ion battery. Which currency is abbreviated as CHF? It's the Swiss franc. What is the name of the fictional kingdom ruled by Princess Peach in the Mario video game series? That's the Mushroom Kingdom. Which element is represented by the symbol Fe on the periodic table? The answer is iron. Which color pill does Neo choose in the movie The Matrix? He chooses the red pill. What is the capital of Brazil? Brasilia is the capital of Brazil. What does the GPT in ChatGPT stand for? It stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. Which is the highest value property on a standard Monopoly board? It's the boardwalk. Who holds the all-time NBA scoring record? LeBron James holds this record. Which animal is known as the largest bird in the world? The answer here is the ostrich. What was the first video ever uploaded to YouTube called? The video was called Me at the Zoo. You made it! Let us know your score in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Power Quiz videos. I'm sure you'll love our next quiz, so what are you waiting for? Click on it and have fun! Thanks for watching!